Back in action here at the Vic. A couple of called strikes to get us going here for game number 2 between Carson-Newman and Emmanuel. 0-2 to kind of Chesney, who leads off once again for this Emmanuel lineup. Led off last game and had a fine performance at the plate. Had a couple of hits. At the top of this batting order, and a 1-2 offering from Riley Sykes, the Game 2 starter. A bouncing ball to Dye. A throw across, pulls Hughes off the bag, and that is going to be a throwing error on Dye that pulls Hughes off the bag. An infield hit to start things here. Now to the plate for Emmanuel is the third baseman, Alyssa Adams. This 1-2-3-4 part of this batting order for Emmanuel is the same as it was in game number 1. Here's a pickoff attempt that is backed up well there by the second baseman for game 2, Skylar Jacob. Riley Sykes gets the start, was the starter in Game 2 against Concord, went the distance, a complete game with 7 strikeouts and allowed 1 run. Here's a strike to Adams. Two balls and 1 strike here in the top of the first inning. At the Vic, Carson-Newman won the first game of the doubleheader 8-5. In come-from-behind fashion, runner takes off, and the pitch is fouled back. Two is hit up the middle, base hit. Chesney's going to move to third. Throw, not in time. And the runner, Adams, who had singled, advances to second on the throw. And it's second and third, no one out. So second and third, and no one out. Ground ball. Dye will field. Holds the runner at third. A well-executed play by Hayden Dye to field it cleanly first, and then look down the runner, make certain the runner was not going to advance, and throw out Goolsby for the first out of the top half of the first. 6-3 put out. Is the first out of the inning. And that'll bring Jaron Gibson to the plate. Gibson is really an integral piece to this offense in game number 1, and she'll watch the first pitch enter the strike zone. Strike 1. Gibson 2 for 4 and 2 runs batted in. Drove in 2 of the 5 runs for the Lions earlier today. As Sykes winds and delivers. This ball is lined to right. on the run. Robbins watches it hit up against the wall. One run is in. Robbins' throw is going to be cut off. The throw from Jacob to the plate is not in time. It's 2-0. Gibson in a rundown now. She's halfway between second and third. The throw to Matisovsky now to the second baseman, and it's thrown out. They end up tagging her out in between second and third, as Dye, the shortstop, was able to tag out Gibson, but she drives in 2 runs, and it is now 2-0. Strike one on the 5-hitter, Abby Rocco, the right fielder here in Game 2. Line of the first pitch to her, or the next pitch to her, is a ball. One fouled back, and it's 1-2 on Rocco. Got the start of Game 1 as well. Played second base. Playing right field in Game number 2. Had a base hit and scored in Game number 1. Trying to get things started here with 2 outs in the inning, but 2 have come across for the Lions. 1-2 fouled back. One, two. Swing and a miss. It's a dropped third strike. They'll have to throw it down order to Hughes to end the inning. But Emmanuel strikes for 2 to open things up here in the first. Eagles to bat for the first time in Game 2 after this on the Eagles Sports Network. Caitlin Pickens is the pitcher in Game 2 for Emmanuel. Last season was second on the team with a 3.29 earned run average, and Sienna Cameron wastes no time and lifts one into left field for a base hit. So first pitch seeking is Sienna Cameron to kick off things for the Eagles half of the bottom of the first inning. Good start, good response for Carson-Newman. And now Mary Robbins, who gets the start here in Game number 2, to step to the plate for the first time. Shows bunt, pulls it back, runner takes off. Cameron sliding in, never touched the bag. They'll tag her out. It was a fine throw, but Cameron tried to avoid the tag that was about to be placed by the shortstop, Buffington. And it forced Cameron outside the bag, and she's thrown out. Not sure if that pitch was a ball or a strike. There's a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to Mary Robbins, who now has the freedom to swing away. Was going to place the bunt down, maybe trying to get the runner over. Instead swings the bat and misses at a 2-1 offering from Pickens. It's strike 2. Back to Pickens' numbers, 3.29 earned run average last year. Had 5 complete games, was tied for the team lead with 30 appearances, made 14 starts. As Robbins fouls one back. And it remains a 2-ball, 2-strike count with 1 out in the bottom of the first. Sun is pretty much set here in Mossy Creek. Curious to see how deep into this game we're able to get as Robbins rips one foul down the left field line outside the batting cage. Remember, this one started about 3:58, and so we'll see how many innings we can get in. With the rate we had yet earlier, been playing well over a 2.5-hour game, probably won't be able to do that to get this one as Robbins continues this strong at bat and fouls another one off. We'll keep it at a 3-ball, 2-strike count to Mary Robbins, who will wait for a 10th pitch of her first plate appearance of the day. Another foul ball. Mari steps back in, and another 3-2. Stayed away from it, and it's ball 4, the appeal to first. She was able to check her swing, and Mari Robbins draws a well-earned walk, an 11-pitch at bat. Goes her way. And now brings in Macy Hughes. A couple of hits earlier today. Thought about the first pitch, instead lays off of it, and it's ball 1. In game 1, 2 hits, drove in a run, and scored twice. In the victory. There's a ball outside, and it's 2-0. Pickens gets her first action in the circle this year, with this being the opening set of games. Robbins takes off and slides in safely. It was ball 3 as well, and Mari has a stolen base. 3 balls and no strikes. First base open for Hughes with a count at 3-0. Swing and a miss. Hughes didn't really want it, but had already committed just enough. And it's a swinging strike to make it 3-1. Did it again. Did she go, though? She's trotting up to first base, so we're going to get appeal. Here's an appeal, and she did. And I was going to say, I think she She was about 85% of the way committed to that pitch. The home plate umpire called it a ball and said she did not go around. The appeal is in favor of Hughes, so it's 3-2. Or is in favor of Emmanuel and not of Hughes, and she'll go back for a 3-2 pitch, and it's called strike 3. That at bat certainly was one that Hughes would like to have back, but a good response from Pickens after falling behind 3-0 to get Hughes on the next 3 pitches. And with 2 outs, that brings Macaulay Bailey to the plate. Hitting in the cleanup spot. Thought about the first pitch, instead lays off of it. It's ball 1. Bailey earlier today, an RBI base hit, as well as drawing a walk. She is the designated player in this second game and falls for the off-speed pitch, and it's a swinging strike. Was well out in front of the pitch that was delivered in by Pickens. Another 1-1. It's hit off the end of the bat, foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pickens is a junior from Buford, Georgia. 3rd year with the Lions. Could be asked to take on more of a ace role for this team this season after being really the number 2 option with Maddie Edwards pitching a lot last year. I haven't seen Maddie Edwards this year, but could be asked maybe to do a little bit more in the circle for this year's team as maybe a starter after only making 14 starts over 30 appearances last year. 2-2 pitch is outside, and Bailey has been able to work the count now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes with Mari Robbins standing at second base and 2 outs in the inning. Emmanuel with a 2-0 lead. Called strike 3, inside corner. Bailey is caught looking for the final out of the inning. We're through 1. The Eagles strand 1 and trail by 2 as we head to the top of the second here on the Eagle Sports Network. Adriana Meeks will start things in the second inning for Emmanuel. 6, 7, and 8 due up. Adriana Meeks is the second baseman. Realize we didn't give you the Carson-Newman infield, so after the first pitch here, we'll give you that here in game number 2. First pitch from Sykes is a ball. The infield, Masovsky and Dye are on the left side. The third baseman is Masovsky. Dye is the shortstop. Skylar Jacobs starts at second. Hughes is the first baseman. Vandergriff, Cameron, Robbins left to right in the outfield, and Kennedy Warder starts Game 2 for the starting pitcher, Sykes. Pop up, infield, Jacob has it, squeezes it, 1 out. And that'll bring in Casey Westmoreland, the designated player. Listed as a third baseman, the junior will get her first opportunity of the season. Hit .292 last year as a bench player. Did not make any starts. makes her first start. And it comes in game number 2 of a long season. And her first pitch that she sees of the season is a called strike from Sykes. One ball, one strike to Casey Westmoreland. Sykes changes speeds and gets a called strike. 1-2. Pop fly in foul ground. Hughes and Warder give it a look, and it's out of play. 2-0 Emmanuel. They struck first. They got the leadoff hitter aboard in Chesney. She came around to score on Gibson's double. Adams came around to score. Alyssa Adams, that is the second hitter, came around to score to make it 2-0 on that hit from Gibson that came with no outs in the inning. Eagles responded to get out of that inning with no more damage done. That's where we stand at 2-0 in the top of the second inning and 1 out. 1-2 count on Westmoreland with Gabby Buffington sliding down to the 8th spot here in game 2, waiting on deck. Ground ball right side. A couple of hops into the mid of Jacob and a throw to first in time to Hughes, and that is the second out of the inning. And now Buffington gets her opportunity. Abby Curry is the 9 hitter. She plays left field, getting her first action of the season as well. As Buffington will try to create some 2-out life for this Lions offense that has heated up. 2 runs in the 3rd and 3 in the 5th in game 1 after getting scored or going 6 up, 6 down, or 3 up, 3 down, and the first 6 batters getting retired to start game 1. Fly ball left field. Vandergriff hauls it in, and a quick 1-pitch out to retire Buffington. Eagles down 2. Try to change that as we head to the bottom half of the second here on the Eagles Sports Network. Swing and a miss by Hayden Dye to kick off her first at bat of game number 2. Dye got her first hit and first hit of 2023, her second RBI of the year in the effort earlier today. Here's a called strike, and she's fallen behind at no balls and 2 strikes. 0-2s outside But it misses away for ball one. He mentioned it was a busy day for Carson-Newman Athletics. The women's basketball team had a tough effort on the road, falling to Catawba 94-85. That ends a 9-game conference win streak for the Lady Eagles. On the hardwood, ball 2 to die now with no one out to begin this bottom half of the second inning. The Carson-Newman men's basketball team is in action. The baseball team trailing 4-3 at USC Aiken right now. Beach volleyball is in action. All these sports going on to begin February. It's a busy month of February. 3 consecutive balls, runs the count full. Be sure to always check SeeingEagles.com for the latest news and recap of all of the contests, as well as our social media pages. They always get caught up. Here's a line drive right into the mid of Adriana Meeks, who leaps up and makes the catch. Die robbed of a base hit on a line drive out to start the second. Brooke Matasovsky steps in for Carson-Newman. With 1 out now, first pitch to her is a ball high. Brooke in game 1 recorded a hit, also drew a walk in her 3 plate appearances. Carson-Newman got 2 hits from their first hitter, 2 from their third, and then 1 each from 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order. And then Vandergriff and Martin at the bottom of the lineup at 8 and 9, each recorded a hit as well. So balanced effort once again, top to bottom. Each part of the order was able to contribute in some way to help put together 8 runs on 11 hits and a good defensive performance with no errors. 1-1 delivery outside from Pickens, ball 2. Again, this was a surprise series, popped out of nowhere. It wasn't supposed to happen. Weather was not looking good down there in Milledgeville, Georgia. Foul off by Matasovsky, 2-2 now. It's going to wash out those games. So Carson-Newman took initiative, invited one of the opponents they were supposed to play down there, Emmanuel, and said, hey, you want to start your season in Jefferson City? They said, sure. Here we are. Playing 2 on this Saturday afternoon. Ball 3, and back-to-back batters to kick off this bottom of the second inning are going to go into full counts. The Eagles are 3-0 for the first time since 2019. A swing and a miss, foul tip into the glove, strike 3. Matasovsky is retired. And there's 2 outs. In the bottom of the second inning. That 2019 season was a special one for Carson-Newman. 13 consecutive wins that year. Part of an unbeaten February for Michael Graves' team. First pitch to Warder, a line drive up the middle into center field for a base hit. Just got past the glove of Meeks. That's a 2-out single for Kennedy Warder. That'll bring Mary Vandergriff to the plate, followed by Skylar Jacobs. She hits 9th. Eagles went 29-12 that year. Here's a foul back by Vandergriff, strike 1. Mentioned the 13-0 start. Eagles made it to the Southeast Regional, knocked off Anderson in 5 innings, 13-0 before falling to LMU, and then Anderson in the next 2 games the following day. Eagles came up just short in the softball tournament there. They lost to Anderson in the championship 13-11. Got revenge on them in the first round of the Southeast Regional before falling to them later on in the tournament. But certainly a good year for the Eagles, despite 11-9 conference record, to make some noise down the stretch that season. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch to Vandergriff's popped up in foul ground. It's caught by the catcher. That is Goolsby making the catch for out number 3. To the third, it's 2-0 Emmanuel here on the Eagles Sports Network. Abby Curry will kick off the third inning. She hits in the 9 spot here in Game 2 for the Lions. And the left fielder gets her first AB of the 2023 season and watches the first pitch from the freshman Sykes. Miss low for ball 1. Each team with a pair of hits, but it's Emmanuel with the 2 runs on the scoreboard right now. They scored him in the top of the first inning on Jaron Gibson's 2-run double to right. They've blanked the Eagles in the first 2 frames. Here's a called strike to Abby Curry. Curry last year played in 41 games, was more of a defensive player out there in left field, and as a utility player made 1 start and only had 4 at-bats. Did score 22 runs. A lot of those came in pinch running opportunities, but just her 5th career at-bat comes here against a freshman in Riley Sykes. The 2-1 pitch from Riley is fouled back by Curry, and the count evens up at 2-2. Sykes didn't have any walks in her first start on Wednesday. As we mentioned, went the distance, 7 innings pitched, allowed 1 run, 7 strikeouts. So far, she's took good command of the zone as well. 21 of her 28 pitches have been in the zone. Here's a foul ball. Over top of the first base dugout, out of play. Keeps the count at 2-2 to the leadoff hitter, Abby Curry. Sykes has the sign from our catcher, Warder. The wind, and the 2-2 is lined in a left field base hit. Abigail Curry kicks off the third with a base hit to left. That is her first career hit. That sets the table for Kina Chesney. Back to the top of this batting order. She reached by error on Dye's throwing error in the first inning. First pitch called strike. There's a flare and foul ground. Hughes unable to track it down before it hits the turf, and it's strike 2 to Kyra Cheney. Had a base hit and an RBI in the Game 1 loss to kick off Emmanuel's season. Oh, 2 offering. Another foul ball. Winding in the 0-2. Line drive, left field, base hit. Vandergriff ventures to her left. A good throw in to the second baseman, Jacob, to hold Curry to move up to just second base. And back-to-back singles for Emmanuel to kick off the third. Once again, good piece of hitting, and they're out in front of Sykes. First and second, no one out here in the inning. And Alyssa Adams to the plate for the Emmanuel Lions. Carson-Newman will hit the road. They at least expect to hit the road next week. Albertville, Alabama for the Charger chill out. They'll play 5 games next weekend. 2 Friday, 2 Saturday. Or check that, 6 games. 2 Friday to Saturday to Sunday. Busy weekend ahead for the Eagles before they do a similar thing at the Bearcat Fleet Invitational the following weekend. First pitch was a ball to Adams as Sykes back into the circle waiting for the sign from her catcher Warder. As it winds and delivers a 1-0. It's popped up foul. 36 pitches for the freshman, 28 of which have been strikes. She has pounded the strike zone, but so far Emmanuel has made her pay for it at times. 4 hits, 2 of which have come in back-to-back batters to start this third inning. This is similar to how the first inning had started for Emmanuel. They got the first 2 runners aboard, capitalized on Gibson's double. She waits in the hole at the moment as Adams fouls one back. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. The line, the 1-2. Another pop fly and foul ground. Warder gives it a look, but it's well out. Adams back in. Singleton scored earlier. Here's a ground ball to the pitcher. She'll go to third with it to get the force. Heads up play by the freshman Riley Sykes to go to third for the force out. Matasovsky squeezes the mitt. There's 1 out. Bunt shown. Here's a ball. And the runners stay put. Line drive, base hit into left field. Chesney scores an RBI base hit. The ball gets away, and the runner is safe at third. And now time called. Ball bounces up against the wall. One is in off Gibson's hit that bounces up against the wall. She's held to a single. The runner held up at first in Goolsby, making certain that ball was going to touch down. And it's now 5-0. Rocco with a base hit into right field. The bases are loaded now with her single to right. And Carson-Newman's going to make a change. I'll tell you about the new pitcher here in a moment. Eagles trailing here on the Eagles Sports Network. Eagles make a change, going with Nicolette Ferguson. Here's a pop fly on the first pitch. She'll throw the year. Hughes catches it, and that's the second out. Much needed out with Carson-Newman trailing 4-0. And now with 2 outs, it's Westmoreland at the plate. Casey Westmoreland with the bases full of Lions. Can Nicolette Ferguson get Carson-Newman out of this second inning? Or third inning, check that. First pitch is a ball. Ferguson last season, 12 appearances, 2 starts, a 5.55 earned run average, went 3-1. Made 10 appearances in 2021. She's going to induce another pop fly. This one's going to be caught by Warder, and that ends the inning. So Carson-Newman gets out of it. Ferguson throws 3 pitches and gets 2 pop outs. To the bottom of the third, it's 4-0 Emmanuel here on the Eagles Sports Network. All right, Skylar Jacob will hit for Carson-Newman in the bottom of the third inning. Eagles trailing 4-0 here on the Eagles Sports Network. Andrew Rogers, glad to have everyone alongside and joining us here for Game 2. Eagles took the first one, if you're just joining us, 8-5 in Game 1. Skylar had one at bat against Concord. It was a ground ball out. And watch the first pitch go across for ball 1. Pickens back out there, a 41-pitch effort so far in the 8 batters she's faced through 2 innings. Pop fly in the infield. Buffington calls off her second baseman, Meeks, and makes the catch. 1 out. And now Sienna Cameron try to get things started for Carson-Newman at the plate. Sienna had a couple of hits earlier today. Eagles have allowed 7 hits so far through 3 innings. Have managed 2 themselves, but have not been able to get going offensively yet, despite a couple of opportunities so far, as Cameron takes the first pitch in high and inside for ball 1. 1-0 offering to Cameron. Ground ball right side. The second baseman diving, not in time. Gibson went for the dive, couldn't come up with it. The second baseman, Meeks, was there. Hustled to the bag, a diving effort to get the glove to the bag, but not in time. Infield single for Cameron. Now Mari Robbins. And the first pitch is outside. Well, Robbins watches one go by. 4 strike 1. Ooh, that ball's fouled on a line toward Emmanuel's dugout. Robbins well out in front of that foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes with Cameron at first base and the Eagles trailing 4-0. It's been timely hitting for Emmanuel. More than half of their hits, 4 of the 7 have come when there are runners in scoring position. Robbins takes high for ball 2. And 6 of their 7 hits have been with runners aboard. So they've been able to compound after getting a runner or 2 on and been able to put together multiple hits after another. Breaking pitch just nicked the bat of Robbins, and she'll live to see another pitch. Had a 10-plus pitch at bat in the first inning that eventually she was able to draw a walk on. And now has worked the count to 2-2, and we'll wait for a 6th pitch. This ball's checked on a check swing. It's going to be foul. Thought about going around, did enough to get a bat to hit part of the softball, and it's out of play. And Robbins will wait for a 7th. Ground ball foul. Here we go again with Robbins and Pickens in this battle. 18 of her 52 pitches that Pickens has thrown now has gone to Robbins. It has not been an easy out so far against Pickens. Here's pitch 9. Ground ball, third base. Gets a glove on it. The throw, not in time. Another infield hit for Carson-Newman. A tough backhand play to make by the third baseman, Adams. And it's first and second, 1 out. Now Macy Hughes with 2 aboard and 1 out in the inning. First pitch upstairs, ball 1. Caitlin Pickens so far, 2 1/3, 3 hits. It's not allowed to run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, but the pitch count has creeped up on her here in the third. Already at pitch 55 here to Hughes. It's inside, ball 2. wind, and the pitch inside and high. Hughes had to turn her head to get away from that pitch, and it's 3-0. Three balls and no strikes. The pitch from Pickens to Hughes. Low ball for a 4-pitch walk for Macy Hughes. And the bases are full of Eagles with one out, and Kevin Fagan is out of the third base dugout. And we'll chat with his pitcher Pickens with one out, and the Eagles threatening and the tying run at the plate. Carson-Newman baseball has tied up the game with 2 outs against USC Aiken. A base hit when Carson-Newman was down to its final out by Luke Goforth. Ties the game up, so they're headed, I think, to the bottom half of the ninth and maybe extras there. Tom Griffin's team trying to rebound after a tough loss yesterday. Noah Pridmore was phenomenal for 6 innings. The Eagles allowed 7 runs in the 7th. Helped USC Aiken blow that game open yesterday and start that series off in favor of them. First pitch to Macaulay Bailey is outside, ball 1. So 5 straight misses after that long AB from Mari Robbins, in which she was able to reach on an infield hit. And now Bailey at the plate. Takes a big swing at the next pitch, and it's fouled back. Gotta figure if you're Carson-Newman here, you gotta get 1 or 2 in this inning and take advantage of what your offense in the top of this order has been able to produce to this point to get aboard. Now it's about Bailey trying to drive him in here to at least get 1. The 1-1 offering. Low for ball 2. Doesn't matter how. Eagles drew a couple of walks in the opener against Concord to score. Need to chip away at this 4-run lead for Emmanuel. Pickens winds the 2-1. High ball 3. Bailey thought about it, but was wise to stay away to work herself into a hitter's count. Look at the wristband for Pickens, the wind, and the 3-1. Low ball 4. Bailey draws the walk. Cameron trots home. It's 4-1. The Eagles have cut the deficit to 3. And now Hayden Dye with still 1 out in the inning. First pitch to Dye, ground ball to short. They'll go home, not in time. 4-2. Hayden Dye puts the ball in play. The shortstop Buffington went home and didn't get the out. There's a strike to Matasovsky. There's a swing and a miss. Strike 2. Ball 1, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out in the inning after the fielder's choice. On the infield play by Dye. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch to Matasovsky's lifted to left center field. Chesney to the wall makes the catch. This is going to be the longest sacrifice fly you can have. It scores a run. It's 4-3. Brooke was oh so close from a grand slam. Instead, just comes up a foot short, and it's 4-3. There's 2 outs. And now Kennedy Warder to step in. Ground ball. Left side, Adams Fields throws on to first, and the inning is over. But Carson-Newman is able to cut in to the lead. They get 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 are left. To the 4th, it's 4-3 Emmanuel here on the Eagles Sports Network. Gabby Buffington starts the top of the 4th. First pitch from Nicolette Ferguson is a strike. Ferguson helped the Eagles get the final 2 outs of the 3rd inning. Part of a 2-run inning for Emmanuel. Here's a foul off 0-2. Now, Sykes, 2 1/3. Her line is complete. 7 hits, 4 runs. 3 of those 4 runs are earned. No walks and a strikeout. Allowed 1 extra base hit. In the 14 batters that she faced, 39 total pitches, 31 of which were strikes. Again, good command of the zone, just got hit around a little bit early on by this Lions team that was hungry after an 8-5 loss in Game 1. Here's ball 1 low. And the count moves to 1-2. Carson-Newman men's basketball update. Chuck Benson's team trails at the half, 52-34. Searching for a win there on the road. You're going to have to do it in come-from-behind fashion. Ground ball right back to Ferguson. A easy toss over to Hughes, and that's the first out of the inning.
We love a pitcher who plays a position.
And now Abby Curry, the left fielder, steps in. She singled and scored back in the 3rd inning. Was the first run to come across there in that 2-run 3rd. Her first career hit last half inning, and the first pitch drops low for ball 1. 1-0 offering by Ferguson. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Chesney to follow in the inning. Ground ball left side. Dye will field. Quick throw across in time. 2 outs. Two outs brings up kind of Chesney, who is 1 for 2 today. In fact, this Emmanuel lineup, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all have base hits, with Gibson having 2 out of the 4 spot in the batting order. Ferguson the wind in the first pitch. Bounced in there, ball 1. Eagles got a 1-2-3 second inning, trying to complete a 1-2-3 inning here. Got to retire Cheney here. Sophomore's been a solid piece at the top of this batting order, hitting above 300 as a freshman last year. Chopper goes over top of the dugout and foul. And strike one. Ball and a strike, 2 gone. In a 4-3 game, Eagles scored 3 in the bottom half of the third and have a total of 5 hits to Emmanuel's 7 hits on 4 runs. 1-1. Ball. Ferguson will look in, the 2-1. Another bounce ball in there. And Cheney watches the count move to 3 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs. In the inning, again, 4th all-time meeting. Eagles have won all 3 meetings previously, including the one earlier today. Emmanuel trying to get revenge on what was a 13-4 beatdown a season ago at the hands of these Eagles. Off to a better start here in Game 2 after losing 8-5 in Game 1. There's a foul ball back, and it's a 3-2 count with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Ferguson's 3-2. Another foul ball. Another 3-2. Ground ball to Dye. Fielded off a couple of hops to throw across. In time, and the Eagles complete the 1-2-3 inning. To the bottom of the 4th. Eagles trail by 1, trying to change that in the next half inning here on the Eagles Sports Network. Here's a rocket to start the inning. Vandergriff one hops up off the wall. The cutoff is in time, but not before Vandergriff is into second base with a leadoff double, wasting no time to start the bottom of the fourth. Mary Vandergriff, double to left, and we're rolling to start the bottom of the fourth. Skylar Jacobs steps to the plate. Could be asked here to maybe lay a bunt down and get Vandergriff over to third to set up that sacrifice fly possibility. See how Michael Graves' squad plays it here. Jacobs will not show bunt. She'll take the first pitch for a called strike. Skylar's first plate appearance was a pop out in the infield. 0-1. High, ball one. Missed away. Pitch count above 70 now. 71 pitches for Caitlin Pickens. 40 of the 71 are strikes. Pickens winds, delivers. Swing and a miss. Big, healthy hack from Jacob. But misses the pitch in from Pickens. It's 1-2 strikes. After Jacob, it's the top of the order with Sienna Cameron, who is 2 for 2. In fact, both games today, she's got multiple hits. She's had a good day at the plate. Jacob chases this pitch on the outside and strikes out, swinging for the first out. Pickens records her 4th K. And now Cameron steps in. Eagles trailing by 1. Just 1 hit to the outfield can tie this game. Corners still peeking in here for the Lions. Gibson and Adams. First pitch. The ball just a little bit outside Cameron. For ball one, who's off to a pretty fine start to her 2023 season. Went 0 for 2 in game 1 against Concord, rallied to get 1 hit in game 2 and had 2 hits earlier today and 2 already. Here's a ground ball foul down the line at first base. 1-1 strike now. So a 3-game hitting streak to start the year here now for Sienna Cameron, counting today's game, and 2 previously to start the season. Foul back by Cameron on a good cut, and it's 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. Vandergriff began the inning with the double to left. She stands at second with 1 out. Pickens the sign, the 1-2. Another foul ball. This one off to the left side. Keeps it at 1-2. Update on Carson-Newman baseball. They fall 5-4 after a 2-out base hit propels the Pacers to a Game 2 victory. So the Eagles fought back, but ultimately are unable to hold on there at USC. And Game 2 goes to the Pacers. Ball 2, delivered in by Pickens to even up the count here in the bottom of the fourth. 2-2 offering, swing and a miss. Cameron chased the off speed. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Caitlin Pickens. And there's 2 outs in the bottom half of the fourth. Vandergriff stuck at second base now as Mari Robbins will give a chance at it here with 2 gone. Pickens, the sign, the momentum, and a swing and a miss by Robbins. She's in a groove now after getting up that first pitch double. Has responded for back-to-back Ks to bring her to 5 in the game and is ahead of Robbins at no balls and a strike. Pitch 81. Called strike. 0-2 on Robbins. 0-2 offering. Outside, ball one. Robinson appearing in her third game already of the 4. Played in 27 last year and rips one foul. Heads up over there. That nearly decked a couple of guys standing on the road to get a good view of the action. They had to hustle out of the way as that ball curved in. Keeps it at 1-2. Robbins last season, just one hit in 14 ABs. Has two in 3 ABs this season. Trying to step up here for her team and tie the game. 1-2. Just outside, a tough take. Pickens thought maybe she had called strike 3. Instead, it just misses the corner. And the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mari has had a 10-pitch at-bat and a 9-pitch at-bat. Waiting on a 2-2 here. It's outside, ball 3. All 3 of her at-bats have gone to a full count. She drew a walk in the first and singled and scored in the third, last half inning. What will she do in her third AB? Another 3-2. Pop fly, foul. She is just a tough out at the plate right now for Pickens. As Robbins grabs the bat once again and will trot back over and take a practice swing before waiting on pitch 8 of this at-bat. Pickens has the sign, another 3-2. Another foul ball. This one's in foul ground. No, it's going to venture back into fair territory. The catcher dropped it. Vandergriff comes around to score, and we're tied. The catcher had to venture forward and to her right, could not get a good track on it, and Vandergriff hustling scores from second, and we're tied at 4. And now we have a visit. The infield's going to come together. Macy Hughes to the plate. Her first pitch is a called strike. Robbins fights off. Quality at bat. Puts the ball in play. Forces the mistake by the catcher, Goolsby. And now Hughes swings and misses for strike 2. Eagles have tied it at 4. Both teams with 4 runs on 7 hits. But the error right now has hurt the Lions. Hughes fouls one off. No balls, 2 strikes. Still 2 outs in the inning. Eagles had Vandergriff on to start the inning with the first pitch double, as this one is up and in for ball 1. And then Jacob and Cameron struck out swinging before Robbins' 8-pitch at bat, in which the catcher made a fielding error, Goolsby, and Vandergriff hustling scored from second. Runner takes off as Hughes fouls one off to the right and out of play. And the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Robbins has the speed. Something hit in a gap could probably score her from first base. 1-2 to Hughes. Another foul ball. One, two outside. Another good at-bat from Carson-Newman with 2 outs to force Pickens to make some quality pitches time and time again. As Macy waits for an 8th pitch in this at-bat and gets drilled on the wrist. No, let's see. Yep, they're going to give her first base. She had made an attempt to maybe swing but didn't go around, and that ball hit her in the wrist. And Macy Hughes reaches on a hit by pitch. So Robbins up a spot to second, and now Macaulay Bailey at the plate. With 2 outs, Eagles trying to create some 2-out magic here in the 4th to regain the lead. Or to gain their first lead in game 2, I should say. Big swing and a miss from Bailey for strike 1. Emmanuel scored 2 in the first, 2 in the third. Eagles responded for 3 in the third. Then a shutdown inning in the top of the 4th, and they've scored 1 here in the bottom of the 4th to tie it. 2 on and 2 out. 0-1's low for ball 1. Pickens closing in on 100 pitches. She's at 97 right now. 57 of those 97 are strikes. 1-1, fouled back by Bailey. And it's 1-2. Pickens steps out of the circle, now back in, and has the sign from Goolsby. The pitch. Ground ball left side. Adams just tags out Robbins to end the inning. We're tied at 4. Heading to the 5th here on the Eagles Sports Network. First pitch to Alyssa Adams is a strike from Nicolette Ferguson. Here in this fifth inning, in a 4-4 game. Ball bounced in, and it's ball one. A couple of changes here. Abby Martin has gone into the game for Carson-Newman. She is the left fielder now. Vandergriff moves from left to right, and out of the game is Mari Robbins. So the Eagles bring in Martin. With Cameron out there in center, Vandergriff moves to right. 1-1 strike to start the fifth. Ball bounced in, it's ball two. Alyssa Adams 1 for 2 so far in game 2 at the plate. Was 1 for 3 in game 1 and drew a walk as well. She's reached 3 times in the 2 games combined. 2-1 offering by Ferguson. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter, Alyssa Adams. Ferguson delivers. Just inside, ball 3. Good spot. Ferguson thought she maybe had her first strikeout of the season. Instead, gets the ball back in a 3-2 count. Ground ball fielded in fair territory by Masovsky in time over to first for out number 1. And now it brings in Goolsby, who made that error to tie things up. I'd say it's a routine pop-up, but a tough play because it's in no man's land between the catcher, pitcher, and first baseman on this near side and the first base line. And the catcher was the one that made the attempt to try to catch it and just could not get underneath of it in time and had it pop out of her glove, and nobody was covering home either, obviously. And Vandergriff with a heads-up play to not only run out the play, but to hustle home and recognize that nobody was covering. Helped tie the game at 4, and that was all with 2 outs. Big swing and a miss from Goolsby here for a strike. Good work so far from Nicolette Ferguson. 2 innings pitched. She's recorded 6 outs, no base runners. 6 up, 6 down since coming on in the third. A 1 pitch bounced in. Ball 1. Ground ball. Manisovsky, a busy 5th for her. Another good fielding play from her in the hot corner. And Goolsby is retired for the 2nd out of the inning. That'll bring Jared Gibson to the plate, who's been a tough out for Carson-Newman pitching today. 2 hits in game 1, 2 runs driven in, and this game has a 2 RBI double in the first and a RBI single in the third. 2 hits, 3 RBIs for her in game 2 today. Steps back in for her 3rd plate appearance, first against Ferguson. And she'll start off with ball 1. Ferguson, the wind, the pitch. Bounced in, ball 2. Now darkness approaching here at the Vic. How many innings can we get in? Can we get a full game in? Game tied right now. No guarantee that 7 innings would even decide the result. And now we may need an 8th inning. Ferguson and Warder have a chat after a couple of balls. But who knows? Maybe Carson-Newman gets a Final out of this top half of the fifth. We play the bottom half of the fifth. And the umpires, and maybe Carson-Newman is able to gain their first lead here in game two. That could be the end of the game, depending on what the umpires decide, depending on how dark it is. 2-0 is a strike. Jaron Gibson last year, a .290 hitter. Just one home run, but drove in 22 runs. Ground ball off the mid of Ferguson. Dye, Fields throws for the out. Deflected ball by Ferguson. Dye fields it cleanly. And how about Nicolette Ferguson since coming on? She retires 8 straight hitters. We head to the bottom half of the fifth in a 4-4 game here on the Eagles Sports Network. Hayden Dye will start things here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Here at the Vic, Andrew Rogers, glad to have you alongside and joining us here on the Eagles Sports Network. The first pitch at the bottom of the fifth will be pitch 100 for Caitlin Pickens, and it's fouled back by Dye. 60 strikes, 40 balls for Pickens in the circle. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 are earned, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. There is an arm loosening, and I think that is Macy Kelly, who went 4 2/3 earlier. It is her warming up down there along the left field line. 0-1's outside, ball 1 to Dye. So far, Hayden is 0 for 2 at the plate. Hit into a fielder's choice, but scored a run in the third and lined down in the second. Dye takes a little bit high for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Wonder what the situation is with Pickens. Does have 3 walks, 2 of which came in the fourth, or 2 of which came in the third. Here's a pop fly in the infield, a high pop up in foul ground. It's caught by the third baseman, Adams, 1 out in the fifth. And now Brooke Matasovsky. Ball outside. Brooke so far today in the 2 games combined is 1 for 4 at the plate, or 1 hit came in game 1. Also had a walk in game 1. Has a sacrifice fly in the 3rd inning and struck out in the 2nd. is ahead of the count now, 2 balls and no strikes. You wonder how long Pickens' his leash is right now. Here's a called strike. Because of Kelly warming up in a tie game, do you give her maybe a base runner to get on or 2 and then bring in Kelly? Is it just a base runner? Interesting to see how head coach Kevin Fagan of the Lions decides to play this out. Foul ball by Matasovsky. Moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Certainly this is a player you'd like to have to play if you're Carson-Newman. She has the ability to knock the ball out of the ballpark. Has shown that with Carson-Newman. Did it against Concord on Wednesday. Here's a called strike 3. Looked like it was maybe a little high, but the home plate umpire rules it strike 3 looking on Brooke Matasovsky. 6th strikeout for Pickens, and there is 2 outs in the inning. Gives way to Kennedy Warder. Swings at the first pitch. Softly hit ground ball to second. A sidearm throw over by Meeks. And the Eagles are retired in order. We're through 5. Both teams have 7 hits. Both teams have 4 runs. We'll head to the 6th and a tie game here on the Eagles Sports Network. Top of the 6th. Nicolette Ferguson's been great in relief, and first pitch swinging is Rocco. Matasovsky with the mitt over there, snags it out of the air, throws out Rocco to start the 6th. 1 pitch, 1 out. Rocco retired for the 2nd time today. She falls to a 1-for-3 line, and that gives way to Adriana Meeks with 1 out. It looks like we're going to have a change maybe. That is not Meeks. That is Ellie Varner, who started earlier. She will pinch hit. She shows bunt, bunts it to Matasovsky. Throw across, not in time. Infield bunt single for Varner. And now they're going to tag her out. No, the ball comes out of the mitt. Now she's safe. She took off for second with nobody covering. Jacob didn't hold on to the softball and slides in safely. Ground ball to short. It gets up the middle, base hit. Rounding third is Varner. The throw from Cameron is going to hold Varner to third. And sliding into second safely is Westmoreland. Second and third, one out now. First pitch to Buffington is a ball. And now after 2 balls thrown, Buffington will head over to talk to head coach Kevin Fagan in a critical situation in a tied game, 2-0 count, 2 on, and 1 out in the inning. Top of the 6th, 4-4. Westmoreland with a single, her first of the game. And now everybody but Buffington has a base hit for Emmanuel. Corners are in for the Eagles. 2-0 offering. Low ball 3. Two 2-1, check that. Two balls and a strike. 1 out and 2 in scoring position for the Lions. The pitch. Called strike. Big time delivery from Ferguson to even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So what, Gab? So what?
Strikeout here would be massive for Carson-Newman to get Buffington and the second out of the inning. Ferguson will look into Warder. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball. Diving stop. Jacob. She's got to go to first with it. And Emmanuel has taken the lead. RBI ground out for Buffington does the job. Each runner moves up. And it's 5-4. Just enough of it. Jacob had to dive. If she doesn't have to dive to make that play, she's probably got a chance at home instead. Had to go to the turf to field it. And that did not allow her to be able to get a throw in to home in time. In fact, it was the smart thing to go to second and just get the out rather than try to throw home. Limit the base runner, try to limit this damage to just 1 run as Curry takes for ball 1. Varner scores on the ground ball out. Westmoreland to third. Base hit would score her and extend the Lions' lead. Here's a ball outside, 2-1. On Abby Curry, who singled and scored in the third, grounded out in the fourth. Ferguson's wind pitch, ground ball, foul. And it's 2-2. Well, until this inning, Nicolette Ferguson had been phenomenal in relief, retiring 9 consecutive hitters before Varner's bunt single that she got to second on, Westmoreland single to center, and then the ground ball out that resulted in the RBI to score Varner. 2-2, bounced in, ball 3. Full count with Westmoreland waiting at third. Eagles trying to escape this 6th inning and limit the damage to just 1 run and get back to the bat rack. 3-2, line drive up the middle, base hit. It's 6-4. Curry delivers. Back to the top of the order for Emmanuel and Kiana Chesney. Well, coming in to the day, Curry had no career hits. She has 2 today, including a big one here to extend the lead to 6-4. First pitch, a strike to Cheney. Ferguson's next one fouled back with Curry taking off. Little hit and run there from Emmanuel. But Curry heads back to the bag with Ferguson ahead. No balls, 2 strikes. Ferguson's 0-2. Ball 1. Pitch out. It was a little pitch that was high and away, maybe expecting or thinking Curry was going to take off again. Instead, she elected to stay put at first, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs in the inning with 2 already across for the Lions. The wind, the 3-2. Or the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ferguson's first K of 2023 comes to end the 6th. But Carson-Newman gives up 2 runs in the inning. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors. One runner is left. To the bottom of the 6th. The Eagles need an answer here on the Eagles Sports Network. All right, bottom of the 6th inning, Mary Vandergriff will lead things off. 8-9-1 due up for Carson-Newman. First pitch swinging, Vandergriff lifts one foul. .111 pitches for Caitlin Pickens heading into the 6th. There's a ball bounced in, ball 1. To Vandergriff, bottom of the 6th. If you're just joining us, Emmanuel scored 2 in the first, 2 in the third to go up 4-0. The Eagles responded for 3 in the bottom half of that third. Then tied the game in the bottom of the 4th. And we were tied at 4-4 heading to the 5th. It was a scoreless 5th from both sides. And then Emmanuel struck for 2 in the top half of the 6th inning. Mary Vandergriff line drive base hit into center on a 1-1 pitch. Gets things started for Carson-Newman's Eagles here in the bottom of the 6th. Vandergriff's second hit of the afternoon here in Game 2, and she begins the 6th inning the same way it started the 4th inning. She had a leadoff double to left field. This time she starts with a leadoff single. She came around to score on that fielding error by the catcher, Goolsby. The pitch to Jacob. Check that. That's not Jacob. That is a pinch hitter. Lily Holston for Carson-Newman. And here's a strike. So Holston into the game for Carson-Newman as a pinch hitter. One ball, two strikes. This ball gets away, and Vandergrift's going to slide in with a... that's probably not going to go as a stall base. That's going to be a passed ball that gets away from Bullsby. So ball two. Vandergrift up to second base. 2-2. Outside, ball three. Pitch 119 from Caitlin Pickens will be a 3-2 offering to Lily Holston. Holston 0 for 3 in game one and is called looking on strike three here. And that's the first out of the inning. And now to Pickens to face Sienna Cameron. First pitch to her is a ball. Carson-Newman men's basketball down by 12 with 2.5 left, so could be on their way to another loss there on the road against Catawba. Ground ball foul by Cameron. Moves the count to a ball and a strike. 6-4 game. The 2 runs scored in the 6th for Emmanuel came with 2 outs. Check that. One of the 2 runs came with 2 outs. The other one was a 2-out single. Cameron watches the 1-1 go by and Athens for a called strike. 1-2. Vandergrift standing on second base, singled advanced on a passed ball. Cameron lays off a high 1-2 offering. And the at-bat continues to Carson-Newman's center fielder. It's a 2-2 count, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Two, ground ball. It bounces. Rocco can't field it, and it's Cameron hustling to the bag at first. She's safe there. Vandergrift to third. Runners on the corners with an out in the 6th. Second error of the game for Emmanuel, and that draws Kevin Fagan out of the third base dugout to chat with his starting pitcher in the infield. With runners on the corners, the go-ahead run is represented by Abby Martin, who's going to hit for the first time here in Game 2. Came on as a defensive replacement, and now her spot in the order is finally here, replaced Mary Robbins. in the batting order. Vandergrift brings the Eagles within one. She's at third. Cameron ties it. She's at first. Corners are inside the bags. The middle infielders play even with one out. In the bottom of the sixth inning, first pitch to Martin. Good swing and a miss. It's strike one. 125 pitches for Caitlin Pickens. Macy Kelly no longer loosening. She had been throwing in the third and fourth innings, but has sat down for now. This is Pickens' game. Next pitch in is fouled back by Martin. There's two strikes. Pickens a look at the wristband. The pitch. Martin just does enough to extend the bat and foul it off. We've seen Carson-Newman hitters do it in Game 1 and in Game 2. The ability to foul pitches off, extend at bats. It's what's run Pickens' pitch count to 127 here in the sixth. Another 0-2 inside corner, called strike three. Martin down looking, and there's two outs. And with two outs, the Eagles send Macy Hughes to the plate. Hughes here in Game 2 struck out looking in the first, walked and scored in the third, got hit by a pitch in the fourth. And watches the first pitch from Pickens miss outside for ball one. Quality chance here for the Eagles to at least draw within one. Next one, Hughes went after it and was maybe a little bit out in front. Swings and misses, strike one. That was pitch 130. Eagles 0 for 11 today with runners in scoring position. That's counting Game 2 only so far, and only one hit with runners on base. 1-1 misses low, ball two. Only one hit as well with two outs in an inning. Hughes trying to change that. A 2-1 pitch high and inside. It's a called strike. Pickens has gotten a few calls there along that inner third. Got Martin's called strike three, which Martin thought maybe it could have been ball one. Instead, it was a called strike three. And now here's called strike two on an inside pitch to Hughes. 2-2 pitch. Just outside. A tough take from Hughes. And the count runs full. Cameron at first will be taking off on the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 6-4 game in the bottom of the sixth. Pickens has the sign. And time called by Hughes at the plate. Pickens back into the circle. The payoff pitch. It hits Hughes. She's been hit for the second consecutive AB. It's just as good as a walk. And the bases are full of Eagles. And now Macaulay Bailey will step in with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Looks like Michael Graves is going to make a change. Maybe for Hughes here. Yep, it looks like it's going to be Brooke Taylor coming in to run for Carson-Newman. She'll represent the go-ahead run. Bailey at the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs. First pitch from Pickens. Swing and a miss by Bailey. Strike 1. Vandergriff at third, Cameron at second. The pinch runner Taylor at first as Bailey watches an off-speed pitch go in and miss for ball 1. Intense moments here at the Vic. Pickens is 1-1. A swinging strike by Bailey. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bailey so far 0 for 2 off Pickens. A strikeout looking in the first. An RBI walk in the third. And a ground out in the fifth. A 1-2 pitch here. Bounced in. It hit the umpire. And so it stays near home plate. And the catcher Goolsby is able to corral it and not allow Vandergriff to think about hustling home. Deuces across the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Eagles down 2. The pitch. Bailey pops it up foul. Pitch 140 from Caitlin Pickens. A line drive, base hit into left field. 1 run is in. The second one is rounding third and scoring. The Eagles have tied it. A throw gets away. Taylor scores, and the Eagles take a 7-6 lead. A mental mistake by Emmanuel. They tried to get Bailey, who was trying to advance from first to second. Instead, threw the ball away, and Brooke Taylor scores. What a sequence. You hear the screams from inside the dugout for the excitement. Elena Smith will run at second base for Bailey. Guy checks her swing. Gibson catches it, but that ends the inning. Eagles score 3. 2 came in easily. The third comes through on an error. 3 outs away from a 4-0 start is Michael Graves' team. That's next here on the Eagle Sports Network. Well, ultimately, the go-ahead run that scores on the throwing error by the shortstop for Emmanuel. It was the throw by Buffington that got away from the second baseman, Varner, into the outfield. It scores the pinch runner, Brooke Taylor. The umpires call the game. They won't play the top of the 7th. It turns out the base hit from Macaulay Bailey that scores at least 2. The error brings the third across is the difference in the game. How about that? The base hit from Macaulay Bailey sends the Eagles home with their 4th win of the year. They sweep both doubleheaders this week and improve to 4-0 for the first time since 2019. Eagles get it done in 6 here at the Vic, winning the first game 8-5 and the second one in dramatic fashion by a final score of 7-6. We appreciate everyone watching here on Flow Sports and the Eagles Sports Network throughout today's game. Eagles win it 7-6 in 6 innings.